Good evening, everyone. Please confirm the audio and the video once. Hi, Salman Khan, Sneh, Aman, Mayuri, Nadi, Ayush, and Naveen. I hope I'm audible and clearly visible. Ain't I? All right. Great. So, agenda of today's session is following a 7-month strategy because you guys have taken admission and we are starting our batch 2. So we have 7 months and this strategy will be focused on two kind of aspirants, that is working and non-working, both. So when I was preparing for CAT myself, I was in the mid half I was working and other I was student. So it's kind of experience that I faced, and also a lot of my students afterwards, they also faced, and my colleagues, they faced while working and as non-working. So they have different kind of challenges. I will talk about that. By the way, how many of you are working over here? Ankur, exactly. Batch 2 is starting. We are doing the pre-CAT classes. So in the pre-CAT classes, we have covered some quizzes and also some kind of some basic sessions. VARC, Quant, the basic sessions we have done. Yeah, the recording will be available. Yes. Okay. So working people have got a different kind of challenge altogether, and so does non-working. So a lot of people might be feeling in the comment section that I am working, I have more challenges, and non-working might thinking I'm non-working, and probably I would feel some kind of undermined in this session. Not really. Both have different challenges, and both challenges are very great. I would say very severe. So let's start with the strategy for working and non-working aspirants one by one. It's a mixed crowd of both kind of people. I think working are more. Okay, Tara. Good to know that. So now the strategy would be dependent on, first of all, we need to know that what exactly. Okay, I'll start with the question. What do we know? And towards the end of session, it will be what have we learned. Okay, so what do we know? You might be damn good in two of the sections, for example, QA and VA, or QA and LRDI, or VA and LRDI. By the way, most common is this. People are good in these two sections and they miss out on VA. Some people, other group is which is good in VA and they miss out on quants. Nobody is good in LRDI actually. Right. I have not seen anyone who can say I'm good in LRDI. And also I'll ask one question. How many of you are repeaters, CAT repeaters? And if not the repeaters, how many of you have actually gone through the previous papers of CAT? And you must have attended the quizzes, the Agman quizzes, in which you must be getting an idea that how you are in different sections. Abhida, sure. If you are in the group, are you in the WhatsApp group? I'll share all the links again. Okay. So those who are repeaters, they might be they must be knowing that LRDI section is in a way most difficult. The reason is very simple, because it has got no fixed formula, no fixed tricks, no fixed tips, no fixed syllabus altogether. It's kind of uncertain. So, but even then, I have seen people majorly. I will break them into two parts. Two kind of people are there. One who are, apart from working, non-working, one who have the background of mathematics, and others who don't have the background of mathematics. For example, engineers are the ones who have this background. Also the PCM students of BSc or maths honors, right, or stats honors, economics also, they also know mathematics to a certain extent. So these people find quant easy, and because somehow logical reasoning is developed by mathematics, that's what people believe in. So in LRDI, we have like two sections, logical reasoning and data interpretation. So I would say people who are good in mathematics might be good in DI, but not necessarily in LR. LR is something which is totally, I would say, an IQ test. It doesn't depend on what kind of field you belong to. All right. मैथ्स में अच्छे हो तो DI में अच्छे होने के चांसेस बढ़ जाते हैं, बट लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में अच्छे होने के चांसेस सिर्फ डिपेंड करते हैं आपका IQ कैसे. नाउ IQ इज ऑल्सो टू टाइप्स. वन IQ इज दैट व्हाट यू हैव इनहेरिटेड फ्रॉम योर जेनेटिक्स, अदर इज व्हाट यू हैव acquired from the surroundings. All right. So here, assuming that everyone is equal, what we can do is we can increase your IQ, the acquired IQ basically, because we'll kind of expose you to different situations in which your logical reasoning is improved. So that is what basically a pedagogy does, training methodology, that is what it is. At the very same time, I have seen some people who are from, let's say, non-maths में भी बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं. People from English honors, they are naturally good at VARC, verbal ability reading comprehension, because they've been doing it quite a lot of times. And they also have, why they are good? Not because they know English more than you. They are good because they have this habit of reading. All right, they have a habit of reading a lot, because in their courses there are a lot of novels. How many of you are from English literature background? Anyone? English honors? Shikhar, all right. I'll ask someone to for this thing that you would be joining the group. Yes. So English honors students, they have a knack for reading a lot of things, and that is why they are good in VARC. So all in all, what I'm trying to tell you over here, that it doesn't depend what background you are from. It all depends on how you approach a subject. So people who are good in VARC or would be good in VARC are the ones who have the habit of reading. So all in all, you have to develop a habit of reading. Once you start reading, automatically the logic in language becomes clear to you, that how a paragraph is formed. Even if you don't know the meaning of a word, you'll get the contextual meaning. So read a lot, automatically you'll be good in VARC. For people who feel they have left quants, the best thing is that in CAT, they don't ask mathematics, which is above 10th standard. And even if it is, in some way, it is very fundamental, very basic. The mathematics which we have been doing throughout our life. So if you keep on practicing questions, you'll be through it. DI will automatically be improved through this. For logical reasoning, it all depends on how many questions you solve and how many sets, LR sets we expose you to. So that is where you have, we have got you covered. Well, so there's an example of a past year student. His score in Quants was 99.7, LRDI 99.9, and VA 88. Overall this. He got into IIM Calcutta. Now the thing is, in VA he has scored very less when compared to Q and LRDI. But he got through IIM Calcutta because the lowest cutoff percentile in each section is 80 percentile. In some cases 85 percentile. That is why he got into it. But I have seen a student of mine who got, you won't believe, 99.6 percentile overall, but didn't get call from any IIMs, any top IIMs. The reason is that his score in VARC was 79.8 percentile. Now imagine the kind of bad luck he had. Had he done only one question correct, he would have gone into some IIM. All right, do you get that? Yes. So this is what happens. By the way, before going on to discuss the challenges faced by working aspirants, I would like to tell you that all you have to do is to read a lot and practice a lot and trust in the process. So whatever things we are doing in the live sessions or in the application sessions or in practice sessions or the dashboard that you have or the assignments that you do, you have to do everything. And after that, the most important part is doing a thorough analysis of it. When I say analysis, what does it mean? You do a question, and if you do it wrong, you have to go through why you went wrong over there. You can also create a sheet, kind of, you can just note down your weak areas, weak points, and we have developed an AI-based mock platform where you'll automatically get the report that where you are weak, where you are strong. So you can focus more on that. And also areas of improvement are there. If you have gone through the AI-based platform of iQUANTA, you must be aware of that. This is very important. And people say that you have done something wrong, you must analyze it. I would say if you've done something correctly, then also you should analyze it. The reason is very simple, because you might get a new perspective even after you have done something correctly. Probably you will take less time after analyzing. All right, these two things are important, which are universal for any aspirant, let alone a non-working or a working aspirant. All right. Yes, Devina. Praharsh, legal background should be doing corporate law, andha paisa. Okay. Yeah, by the way, lawyers are also a kind of the combination of a lawyer and a manager is drastic. It's a great combination to have, actually. Well, the second scenario is you're equally good at all the three sections. That is the balanced preparation, and this is where we should actually focus on. I have seen students, they feel that mathematics kar lenge, sab kuch ho jayega, aisa nahi hota. In the entire, if you look at the overall scorecard, when you get into a B school, the weightage of quant overall would not be more than 10% in any top B school. Okay, because 50% goes to personal interview and writing ability, 50% goes to that, 20% goes to other areas. In the 30%, either three sections are equally divided, or in some B schools they give more weightage to LRDI, some give more weightage to VARC. So if you focus totally, which is very common, 90% people do that, they focus only on quant, and they realize it in the month of November when time is over. So because you're starting right now, so you have to give equal weightage, if not in terms of time, then in terms of focus, to all the sections. All right. Shambhavi, I will ask the support staff to add everyone. Okay? Good. So here I would like to tell you that what all scores people got in the previous year to get an overall percentile. They are divisions like 80, 90, 95, 99, 99.5. So these are the scores, not the percentage. Okay? So 84 marks, 76 marks, 54 marks, 46 marks, 34 marks. Now think about it. There are 66 questions in CAT, and one correct answer fetches you 3 marks, which means overall 198 marks are possible. Think about it. Overall 198 marks are possible. Isn't that huge? 198 marks, and people who are scoring just 84 are getting 99.5 percentile. And in the sections like verbal ability, LRDI and quant, this is 24 questions. That means 72 marks can be fetched maximum. Here we have 20 questions. That means 60 marks can be fetched in LRDI. In quant, the 22 questions. That means overall 66 marks can be fetched. Now you compare yourself. Less than 50% will fetch you 99.5 percentile. Isn't that huge? Sunny, in FMS, things are totally different. In FMS, they give maximum weightage to CAT score. Earlier, I was talking about only the top IIMs. Okay? देख के मज़ा आया? कई लोगों को लग रहा कितना आसान है 99% लाना. ठीक है, 76 मार्क्स ही तो हैं. 39, 26, 27. See, CAT is a low scoring paper. CAT is a low scoring paper. So all you have to focus is on lot of accuracy. Unlike other papers which are speed based, CAT is not speed based, it is accuracy based. More accurate you are, better marks you will get. Exactly, Dharya. Due to time constraints, that is the reason. And also the questions that they make in such a way that to choose a doable question takes a lot of time. Okay? ओके विशाल, मैंने सोचा नहीं। यश 72 में 72 ला सकते हैं, तो पॉसिबल तो है, लेकिन इसको एक तरह से इम्पॉसिबल ही मान लो। क्यों ही लाना है, क्या ही करना है, शेक्सपियर तो नहीं बनना ना। यू हैव टू जस्ट गो इन टू गुड बी स्कूल, दैट्स इट। ओके, नाउ द वर्किंग एस्पायरेंट्स, द challenges faced. Working time is 9 hours. Tell me if you relate to it. Traveling time is 2 hours. In Agman quiz, there was I think there's a question about transit, isn't it? And then the last decoding VRC, I did a passage in which I was talking about the transit time. You remember that? The time to commute. 9 to 11 तो यही चले गए. Class time 2 to 4 hours. Because we at iQUANTA we do the live class which is of 2 hours, then application class with 2 hours again. Some people do not attend both. Some people attend afterwards, probably in the weekend. क्योंकि रिकॉर्डिंग अवेलेबल रहती है, बाद में लोग देख सकते हैं. ये बेस्ट बात है कि अगर आप किसी कारण से नहीं देख पाए, अगर काम लंबा बढ़ गया तो बाद में देख सकते हो. Yes, Praharsh, I was coming to that. In some cases, working hours can be more than that. Like people who are working in big 4 companies, I have seen a lot of my friends and a lot of my students actually, they work for 12 hours. तो ये भी चैलेंज है कुछ लोग के पास, isn't it? ईशान 84 मार्क्स थे, वो परसेंट नहीं थे. Okay, Ishan, I'll check that. But you got the idea, right? Self-preparation time over weekdays is 1 to 3 hours. That is like every day. Self-preparation time on weekends will be 8 hours. This is what a working aspirant can look at. Make the note, try to note it down, and tell me if you can relate to it, and also tell me if it is possible for you, more or less. Saloni has the office timing from 9:30 to 6:30. Sometimes depend on meetings and work. Exactly, Saloni. I relate to that. 9 hours is a myth. Exactly. Prabjot says, VRC is my strength, but somehow I could not convert it into as much marks as I should have last year. Can I connect with you one-on-one? Prabjot, of course, you can reach out to the support staff and tell them you want to talk to me, and they will arrange a call with me. Mayank, exactly, you can enroll in the May. Okay, by the way, there are a lot of queries which are common queries. If someone has missed some classes earlier and they're feeling lag behind, so they can shift to batch 2. I think there is some provision about that. You can connect to the support staff at iQUANTA and you can do it. All right. Well, coming to the next challenge of our non-working aspirants, working time is 2 hours because they don't really work. मैंने मान लिया कि वर्किंग टाइम में मतलब क्या करते हैं, वो रील्स देख लेते हैं, है ना, कुछ वाईटी वीडियोस देख लेंगे, ये सब वर्क है, घूम लेंगे, एट्सेट्रा. ट्रैवलिंग टाइम इज़ 0 hours, क्लास टाइम 4 hours, सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन टाइम इज़ दिस, एंड ऑन वीकेंड्स इज़ दिस. नाउ यहाँ पे एक चीज़ ध्यान दी आप लोगों ने, वर्किंग एस्पायरेंट्स के लिए वीकेंड्स में 8 घंटे रखा है मैंने, नॉन वर्किंग 4 से 6 घंटे रखा है. ऐसा क्यों है? क्योंकि इन लोग कॉलेज तैयारी भी करनी पड़ेगी, कॉलेज में जो उनके एग्जाम्स है उसकी स्टडीज़ भी करनी होती है, और थोड़ा सा बिकॉज दे आर नॉन वर्किंग, सो दे ट्राई टू नो द वर्ल्ड थ्रू talking to world, through communicating with the world in terms of social media, right? I have seen people clicking pictures and sending it across, which working parents cannot afford to, but it's okay. That is how both of them learn in their own different ways. So these are the things which you must keep in mind, and if you can just add or subtract 1 hour from all the sections, this is, I would say, not all, one size doesn't fit everyone, लेकिन more or less this is what it looks like. अभिराम पांडे, गैप ईयर्स के लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. इसके बाद मैं एक सेशन रखूंगा जहाँ पे आई विल कनेक्ट विद पीपल लाइव, लाइक एन आस्क मी एनीथिंग सेशन, इन विच आई विल टॉक अबाउट गैप ईयर्स एज वेल. गैप ईयर्स इज़ नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. ये एक हवा बना के रखा हुआ है, ऐसा होता कुछ नहीं है, मतलब 1 साल से कुछ नहीं होता. ओके, सो now what to follow for non-working schedule? From this point, we'll go to the syllabus and exact syllabus, and I would like to invite my colleague Mr. Abbas Imran to go ahead with this. But before that, let us look at this college going with no classes. अगर नॉन वर्किंग लोग हैं, कॉलेज गोइंग है लेकिन क्लासेस कई बार नहीं होती हैं. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ इन DU, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, some professor do not turn up. How many of you are on DU then lost their job due to COVID? ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है. People were working earlier but in COVID the jobs they were laid off, and that is the reason they are non-working now, which might create a gap year. Working at home with leisure, that is something which people have this work from home facility. For these people it looks like they have a lot of time, but the reality is they tend to be lazy, isn't it? होता है ना ऐसा कि वो आप बिस्तर पे पड़े पड़े ही चाय भी चाहिए, कॉफ़ी भी चाहिए, पराठे भी चाहिए, है ना. सो दिस इज़ मोर चैलेंजिंग. इससे अच्छे वो हैं जो लोग एक्चुअली ऑफिस जा रहे हैं, बिकॉज देयर बॉडी स्टिल एक्टिव. सो ये बहुत चैलेंज है, आपको उठना पड़ेगा. नॉट वर्किंग एंड नॉट इन कॉलेज. सो दीज आर दी 4 kind of people essentially, and the working and the time they can devote to study that I have discussed based on different parameters. More or less it is same. Now coming to the what exactly has to be done in terms of topics and concepts, I'll invite my colleague.
Am I audible? Audible? Yes, perfectly audible. So guys, I think sir has already told you. I guess I am audible right now. Yes, I'm audible. I hope. Hello. Audible, folks. Yes, perfect. So sir has already told you, I think, like about the engineering, non-engineering people, like the schedule of them. But one thing you need to understand from here, like what exactly you are going to do in this due period. The very few things you have to do in this very few period, which you already understood, you do not have a lot of time. So it's the right time exactly when you start preparing. So there are few things I will make you understand, like exactly how our batch will go and how exactly you achieve your syllabus and how exactly the crash course works and everything. So think about it like this way, like first, we start with numbers. Yes, numbers we will go for like the 6th May to 30th May. So why we start with numbers is very important question, because numbers is something which you need to have a lot of practice as well, and sometimes in other sections is requiring numbers a lot. So that's why we generally start with this numbers classes always, because numbers you need to have an idea about like exponents, you need to have an idea about HCF, LCM, you need to have the idea about factors. So it exactly helps you in a lot, and number is something which is independent of everything. So first thing you can see that for the 25 days, we will schedule it you for 6 May, 30th May. It's only for the numbers. So in this time, you will learn numbers, you will try to use numbers in the respective sections as well. But important things you need to understand, like sometime if you do numbers also, you might think like numbers is less in actual paper. But it is not always true, because numbers will help you to learn some other things also. I understand exactly arithmetic and algebra, two more important things here. But remember, to do all these things, you should have a base of numbers. And also initially people when start doing classes, they have a lot of like, they need to get back into the study session, into the study environment and everything. So in that case, the most important part is whether you are like equipping yourself with all the classes, everything is going on. So all of these things, it takes time. That's why we start with numbers, because arithmetic, you have to be bang on in the section. So numbers is somewhere where you can also understand, like let's say you are facing something, you can go through all the problems, you can go through the basics, you can have your time also. That's why we start with numbers. We do not give you a lot more focus in numbers, because that's why we complete it initially. because our major focus comes with arithmetic, because arithmetic algebra are the most important sections, but numbers is something which is the basic and it requires for everywhere. And this 1 month also you can get habituated with how the class happening, what exactly you want to do, how you want to manage your schedule. So all of this thing happens in this 1 month. So the first month in maths you'll do numbers. The next one, 30th May to 14th July. It's like a 1.5 month scheme. So this is 1.5 months. You can see this is a very long time for this. And this very long time, we generally go with only one section, which is arithmetic. Because holistically, for the last 3-4 years, we have seen like 8 to 12 questions are coming from arithmetic. In the last year, it is 8 arithmetic, 8 algebra, but otherwise it is almost every time 10 to 12 questions. So you can think about it, arithmetic is a very important section. That's why we will give around 45 days just to complete arithmetic. And what exactly is there in arithmetic? We have percentage, we have profit loss, we have SICI, we have mixture allegation, we have ratio proportion variation, we have time work, we have time speed distance. So this entire thing is arithmetic, right? So that's why we give you enough time to equip yourself with arithmetic and to go through arithmetic, even practice questions, text sectionals, do all type of practice sessions, application sessions, do your own questions, do the questions from the book, do the questions from the like dashboard. So you can do all of these things together. Next is 14 to 29 July. So this is one thing, 14 to 29 July, we will do modern maths because we are actually giving you a little bit of break because modern math is also not very important according to CAT, but here we can use modern maths as a breather. Like you have done arithmetic, which is very exhaustive, but in this section, you will do something which is not that exhaustive, which you just need to have a good understanding and good idea. So that's why for the next 15 days, we will do with PNC and probability, like the modern math section. Because remember one thing in modern math section, something is important, which is you have to have a good idea, you have to have a good basic understanding. That's why we are putting the modern maths in between. The next obvious thing is obviously algebra. So algebra, we are giving you around 30-35 days. So 30 to 35 days is algebra. And remember, in case of algebra also, the most important thing while you are doing algebra, the first objective is to go with algebra very, very methodically. Because we will start with linear equation. The first you will learn equations. Then you will learn quadratic equation. Then you will go for sequence, series, inequalities, indices, surds, function, graph. So it is also a very exhaustive session. And this section is also as important as arithmetic according to 2023. So that's why we will go with algebra next. The next thing we will go with, that is August to September, we generally go with geometry and mensuration for the next 20 days because geometry is the third important topic. So we'll give you time to do geometry also, and this is the last section you're going to do. So there are total 5 sections in maths, in QA. One is arithmetic, algebra, geometry, PNC and numbers. So the last section will be geometry, and you will have ample amount of time to do geometry. Now there is one very important thing here also, because after this what exactly you are going to do, in 21st September to 4th October, you are exactly going to do something which you are not good at. Let's say you need more practice in arithmetic. Let's say you need a lot of practice on algebra. So this time period, you will do wherever you lack. And I also tell you what exactly you are going to do in this period. And also our crash course start from 4th October to 24th November. So you'll have also like around 2 months for the crash course also, where we revise everything. But in between, what you have to do, you need to go through by yourself where exactly you need more attention. But important thing here also, you start taking mocks from July, like June or July. So from this onwards, you also need to start taking mocks. Though let's say your geometry has not covered, that doesn't mean you are not taking mock. Because without having geometry also, you can take mock. So you have to start taking mock again from June or July. And the frequency is at least once in a week first, then twice, thrice in a week. So on around 20 mocks to 30 mocks you have to give before taking CAT. Because whenever you are taking mock, no matter how brilliant or how smart you are in solving like questions or in solving DIs, solving VARC, most important part is how you can like incorporate all these strategies in the mock, where there are 40 minutes exactly for each section, where you have to have your strategy. where you have to understand exactly where you need to we don't need to do a question. How can you skip a question? What question you should skip? What is your strength? What is your weakness? Exactly how you should approach a paper, whether you should go through all the questions from first, or you can go through like one by one, or you can go like check the paper first, then solve the questions. So all these kind of strategies generally develop with mock. So mock is very important and you have to take mock. So this is basically how we generally go with the quant syllabus. But there's something very important. The very important thing, like LRDA section, we generally finish within July. So LRDA will be completed in July. Even VARC will be completed in July. For August, September, we generally focus on mostly on math. So by July, we will complete mostly like the LRDA sections, July or like early August. We will complete LRDI with our syllabus also, and VARC with our syllabus also. Because in VARC and LRDI, after you completing everything, the most important thing is practice. So that's why we always ask people to practice at least 3 to 4 sets every day in LRDI. Similarly as with VARC also, at least solve 3 to 4 RC if you have time. Let's say you are non-engineer, right? If you are non-engineer, you cannot provide a lot of time for weekdays. In that case, what we generally do, we do exactly the same thing. In weekdays, we will cover small amounts. Let's say you do 2 RC, 1 RC, 2 LRD assets like this. And in weekend, for the like 14-15 hours, for 2 weekends, 15 hours, for 1 weekend, 8 to 10 hours, you need to provide everything for the remaining things. Like you have to go with like 6 to 8 passages, 6 to 8 LRD assets, and let's say 100 questions in maths. So this is how you should think about your strategy, because whenever you're working or you have like your school, college, or sorry, not school, colleges and other involvements, in that case, the very important part is only thing like how you incorporate your week. So in case whether you have like a lot of work in your weekdays, so you have to use weekends, but those people who do not have work in weekdays, they have like something they can go through like every day, like 4 to 6 hours and go on with like this. But remember, you have to complete 1 week's task in 1 week only. Otherwise, you start taking a lot of backlog, which is very difficult in other time. Especially if you get backlog in numbers, that is still okay, but you cannot get backlogs in 3 sections. One is algebra, one is geometry, and one is arithmetic. You cannot have backlog in these sections. It's never, you cannot do that, right? So that's how we have to do it with the like preparation, like classes and the strategies. So most important thing here, I just want to say, like there are very few things which is very important while going through all of this. I will take your answers, I will take your questions as well, don't worry. But the first thing, you just need to understand like how exactly we'll go through these things. And next, we have also like the CAT Quant. Like if you see arithmetic, we generally have 8 to 9 questions, I have already told you. In case of algebra, we have 7 to 8 questions. In case of geometry, we have 3 to 4 questions. So these 3 sections are the most important section. And I already have understood, like if you solve these 3 sections, it is very easy to get even 99.5 percentile as well. Percentile, I mean. Similarly, numbers PNC are a very good supporting topics. So you need to know these things at least for the other exams as well as for CAT also. But generally PNC probability is not a very important topic, because in the previous year CAT we have seen around 0 to 1 questions. In one set there is 1 question, in 2 sets there are no questions. So these things you have to know like while practicing, like while you're doing PNC, you should know like how many questions you can expect, and that's how you should solve, so you should practice. So these are pretty important things. Next is like how exactly you do. Like we first go with the concepts generally, that is how we generally study quant. First we go with the concepts. Concept is basically for the live classes and the non-engineering videos. Let's say you are not engineer or your maths is weak, or let's say you're engineer also, or you have not maths background, non-maths background, and you think your mathematics or your QA is not as at par. So for those people, we have non-engineering videos. Then we also have live class. In the live class also, you'll clear all the concepts specially. And if it is not live class, then it is also application class. So this is live class, this is application class. This is the part of classes and the non-engineering videos. Next, you do practice. You practice at least 50 questions from each topic. Whatever, let's say if you're studying numbers. So from HCF LCM, you will practice 50 questions. From factors, you will practice 50 questions. I hope you're understanding how exactly we go through this thing. Next is you have to note it, like exactly what are important, what exactly you have learned. Because while you revise, you need to go through the notes. The important question, the questions, the important theorems, formula, and exactly the difficult type of questions which you think you need to go through again and again. So having a note is very important, and you should make your own note. Do not borrow notes, because sometimes I've seen like borrowing notes won't have that much effect, because when you make the notes, also you're making a revision, and your note is very customized to you. It might not be very helpful for the other person. So that's why notes is very important. Then is test yourself, that is assignments, topic-wise test, mocks, all of these things are tests. And next is revision. Revision is revise your notes as well as do revision with us with crash course. So we will help you with revision as well as you do your revision by like going through the notes, going through the important questions and everything. And then I'll tell you if maths डरा दिया तो क्या हो सकता है, ठीक है, don't worry. So next is like the expert tip, obviously. So no book is enough, obviously. No one book can give you everything. So what I suggest, go through all type of questions, go through live class, application class, practice questions, go through previous year questions, go through previous year ZAT questions, IFT questions also. So these are the very good materials how you can practice, right? And you have to practice, remember. And similarly, do practice maths every day. Try to do around 30 questions every day to have a good knack on maths, because you have to practice every day to get a good hold of maths, especially if you are not from maths background. For maths background, 20 questions might be enough, but in general, I generally talk to 30 to 40 questions on an average. Next, important again, is about LRDI. This is not much, because in case of DI, you know, there's 5-6 things only, like tables, line and bar graphs, pie charts, quant-based DI, logical DI. These two are most important these days. Because initially in CAT we have a lot of questions on line, bar and pie charts, but these days we have mostly questions on in these two sections, quant-based DI and logical DI. And similarly for LR, this is like the entire thing. The most important is caselet, distribution, selection, games and tournaments. These four are the most important, also Venn diagrams. So these 5 are most important sections, and the remaining is also important, so you have to go through LR. And you can see the most of the things are in LR. And for the previous year's CAT, one thing we have seen, like all the questions are mostly based on logic. That's why there is importance of logical and quant-based DI. And others are LR. So if out of 4 sets you can get 2-3 questions, 2-3 sets, at least 3 sets are from LR. One is like LR-based DI or quant-based DI. So this is generally the approach of CAT. Remember, so in that case you have to do what exactly you are going to do if you are going to do all the classes. Exactly, this is how you approach a set. First though, you need to invest some time while doing an LRDI set, because you have to invest a lot of time. You need to understand the set, exactly what is happening, exactly is the information. And most important thing is you should not assume any external information, because if you are assuming external informations, there's a high chance you will make mistakes. So the second important is never assume anything which is not there in the passage. Next is, if it is a factual passage, or let's say there's a sentence, please read every sentence very carefully. And whenever you are also reading the questions also, please read all the options as well, because options and the questions, they are very important. Sometimes you can just do a question by eliminating options also. So in that way, it is very important how you can go through the options as well, because in previous time there are a lot of questions we will discuss in classes also, which can be solved directly by using options. So you have to be very careful where exactly the options come into place, where exactly the passage comes into place, where exactly the tables come into place. So this is a pretty important thing. Next is what exactly you do. First, so for the starting, you can solve CAT papers from 2000 to 2014 for the basic and for the beginners, and also solve a lot of puzzles. Like for the basic few days, you should be more focused on solving puzzles, because this way it will helpful. It will help you to understand how we actually crack puzzles, how our mental faculty works, how exactly your thinking process works. So all these things actually help you to understand like how exactly you approach a puzzle kind of thing, or a distribution, or a game, this kind of thing. So these are very important for your base. Like first is 2014 CAT, because these are easy sections, and next is learn puzzles. So go to the Google, like search for puzzles for interview, and try to solve those puzzles. At least that will help you a very good footing, not only even in like your CAT, but also in the interviews also. Sometimes in interviews, I have seen a lot of questions have come from this particular things, which is like puzzles. They will ask you to solve a puzzle or something like that. So this is, you cannot take it lightly. And after that, you should start solving 3 to 4 sets every day. 3 to 4 sets for everyone. If you are working, you don't have enough time, do at least 2 sets. If not 2, solve at least 1, but solve every day. Because consistency is everything, trust me. Consistency is everything. Because if you're not consistent, you are not going to get a result, no matter how smart it is. Because I have seen this thing many times. The smart people also won't score well because of not being consistent. So whether you are in base 0, base negative, you are consistent, you will achieve better than everyone. Trust me on this. And being consistent is not an easy thing. It's the most challenging thing I've ever seen. Being scheduled and being consistent and have a proper discipline. Next is obviously reading comprehension genre. So reading comprehension and verbal ability, VARC. So it's basically these are the genre like science and tech, business economics. Science and tech is the easier one. Business economics is also. You get a lot of inference-based questions from this thing like art, society, culture, history, politics, philosophy, psychology. And there is a mixed kind of sets. A set which you might think like there's a set on AI. So you might think this set is basically a science and technology passage, but at the end of the passage, they actually ask your moral ground, like whether it should be accepted and how we actually use these cloning techniques, all of these things. So it can start with a science and technology, but ended with a philosophical passage. So this kind of mixed passages are very, very important, and you have a lot of inference-based questions. So here you can see the type of passages. But there are also type of passages like analytical passages, narrative passages, argumentative passages. This kind of passages are also there. So that's why you need to practice a lot you need to practice to go through all of these things. And there are so different type of questions also, like some factual questions, inference-based questions, assumption questions. So different kind of questions also you need to encounter. And the best thing to do is like whether while you're solving, please give a note, please take a note. Which kind of questions you generally do a lot of mistake? Which kind of questions are you not comfortable with? Which kind of passages you are not comfortable with? And work on those things. So these things we are telling now, we will tell you later as well, but you have to keep it in your mind if you are very focused in clearing CAT. Next is obviously the verbal ability. It's like para summary, para completion, odd one out, para jumble. These 4 things, and verbal ability is mostly like TETA questions. There is no negative marking, but you have to be very sure and you need to keep on practicing this also. But RC requires much more practice than this. So that's why I always tell people to practice more RC. VA is like doable. You can do VA. And RC is something if you know it, you are sure about the answer as well. But in case of VA, sometimes like the para jumbles is a difficult thing also to crack in sometimes also. So you need to be very careful with RC. Then VA is obviously something which you should give a lot of time, but not as long as RC. Because RC, you have to improve your habits. You have to improve understanding, comprehension, reading, speed. All of these things you need to improve, right? So what exactly you're going to do? So first is like I always tell about this thing like retention is something which is very important. Your retention gives you like the major thing, that is 40%. First reading speed gives you 30%, tone is 20%, vocab is 10%. So vocab is the least important thing. A lot of people have asked me like, my vocab is bad, but it doesn't mean you are not good in RC. If you want to be good in RC, you need to understand the passage where you don't need to know a lot of meanings of a lot of words also. If you don't understand the simple words, that is a different case. But if you understand most of the words, your vocab is not great, but still your RC can be very good if you have these 3 things. First is retention. Retention is very important. Retention also comes with comprehension. Next is speed. If your speed is good, you have a chance to solve more questions. And next is, yes, obviously to ability to gauge the tone. Like if you understand like whether the tone is positive or like it is critical or it is argument or it is let's say cynical or it is ironical or it is paradoxical. So these are all the tones you have in the passage. So if you need to understand this kind of tones, how the passage walks through. So these are like very, very basic and important things to take care of this. Now, obviously, how to approach a passage, that is read and absorb the passage before looking at the question. That is a general rule. Note down the important highlights, the paragraph while reading. So yes, you can note down the paragraph or you can write down the basic summary of each paragraph or each thing. So you can write down so you have a mental map also. That is how I do also. And trust me, initially you might think it takes a little bit of more time, but in the longer run, it will help you a lot. And some people also start with questions. That is also another like accepted technique, but I generally prefer not to start with questions. I prefer start with the passage in general. And obviously attempt question, like you have to read questions very carefully. You need to read the options carefully and try to eliminate options, especially in case of RC. Because in RC, there are a lot of options can be similar. So the best way to go with RC, please eliminate the options, because sometimes two options are very close and you have not seen that option. You just think this is the right option. It might give you a negative marking. So please eliminate options in case of RC. So this is all about it mostly. This is all about this today's session. So this is exactly what should be your strategy and everything. So anything you want me to ask, you can ask also. Retention is your absorption, your comprehension. Now you can ask me any question, guys. So shoot any question. If you're very bad at retention, then what you need to do, you need to be slow, read the paragraph, because sometimes I have seen like people read a paragraph but couldn't retain anything. That is a very acceptable thing initially, because it happens with most of the people. But slowly you have to be actively reading. That is the meaning of active reading. You have to put your entire mind in the reading. The course is okay, it's fine. You will finish it in within like August, September. That is fine. That's not an option. That is not a problem, because you have to be very careful. Like you need to have proper time also to solve these things. You don't need to rush a lot, because I have seen rushing a lot creates much more chaos later. Can you know what puzzles to solve? You can go to Google and search for like puzzles for interviews, and you'll get a lot of puzzles. Apart from that, you can also solve a lot of puzzles from a puzzle book by Shakuntala Devi. There are a lot of good puzzles are there. You can also go through that. Class शुरू तो next week से है. Intro to QA वाला classes भी है. So next week से we are having the classes. Intro to QA, please attend everyone, because there we learn a lot of things, and that will also help you in DI. Minimum number of questions to make topics strong for quants. Quants let die like 3 to 4 sets and 30-40 questions at least every day. QA questions, you'll get our like material also, and the previous year CAT questions. When you will be added in the group very soon, like in the next week, I think. In this week mostly, not next week, in this week. Is it enough? 7 months? 7 months is enough. How to avoid procrastination at first? That is discipline. You have to be disciplined enough to not procrastinate. Like motivation won't help, just discipline will help. Being confident is something you have to practice regularly. Like if you are good at something, you are automatically being confident. Worst in ACADS, should I prepare? Yes, you should prepare, because a lot of colleges do not give a lot of weightage on ACADS. So you can go with this thing. Is Sudoku helpful for puzzle? Sudoku is okay. Initially you can solve Sudoku, that's fine, but later on it won't help that much. How to improve retention? Retention, there's only way. This is called active reading. You have to read one paragraph. If you're remembering nothing, again read the paragraph and try to get rid of all the thoughts you are having while reading a passage. Sometimes we have like people are reading a passage but they have something in their mind. So this you need to like exterminate. Then only you can do that. Can I quit job to prepare for CAT? Yes, you can quit your job to prepare for CAT. That's fine, because 1 year of gap is fine, no problem. I have told you where to do creative questions. How many? At least 20 to 30 marks. Yes, you should prepare. If you're going some problem and are having doubts, there is a secret group is there. You can always post your doubts and you'll get your doubt cleared very soon. Like within like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You're in batch 1, you need to shift in batch 2. You can, I guess, but you need to talk to like the support. After learning concept, I am not able to solve a lot of questions. Yes, that is a very big thing. Like this, that's why whenever you are solving, you might not solve everything or like anything also. You should go through the solution, understand where you are facing problems. Again, you do that same questions and go through it. That is how we'll do. Next is 9 to 10 p.m. and no Saturday off. What to do, sir? Sunday is there. So you have to put your every effort on Sunday. And try to read in the morning at least for some time. I have told you, like you need to talk to the EA for shifting batch. Profile-wise, that are to keep in mind. Not anything right now. Don't think about the profile, because whatever you have done, it's done. You cannot do anything about it. So don't think about it. Focus on your better percentile. For reading, should we use EON? You can use EON essays also. They are a bit difficult, but yes, but not initially. Initially start with light reading. If you're not in reading, start with something you like. Then go for the EON essays or like New York Times or something like that. The batch is starting in this week only. We have like the intro to QA in this week, and like this week we are actually, these are all the pre-classes and we will start this batch from this week only. Don't worry. We have like intro to QA classes is also there. How much article? Like it's 2 to 3 articles is fine if you're reading every day. From where we start with numbers, or we start with like the basic things. You'll get the non-engineering videos. You can start with the non-engineering videos as well. Editorial, that is fine. After learning concept, I have answered you the question. Like, just do the questions, go through the solution, understand where you are actually facing problems. Any option to upgrade course? Please talk to the support to upgradation. Please talk to the support. Schedule for VRC I have already given you. There is not exactly particular schedule. You can see like about VRC. Like this thing you have to divide in this thing. Like in this 2 months you have to divide. It is going with your classes only. Similarly for VRC also, your classes only, you should go with all these things with your classes. Like as the classes go, you'll keep on solving these questions, nothing else. That is the schedule for VRC and DLR. Explain the class schedule. The class schedule is basically we have 4 live classes and 6 application classes. 4 live classes, mostly your live classes will be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That is your general live class schedule. Obviously, in general, initially we have like 4 classes of maths in the first week. Otherwise, the general schedule is LRDI Monday, Wednesday is the VRC, and Friday, Saturday is QA. How much article to read daily? 2 to 3 articles, that's fine. Topic-wise LRDI mocks you'll get with our practice sets, obviously. 2 years of workers leaving job, that is fine, that's perfectly fine. Batch 2 secret group credit will be created. Can we, for tougher questions, look out for similar options given? We will have examples, obviously. I have not got this kind of questions right now. We will have some questions like that. When to start attempting IMABC question? You can start attempting after every topic as well, that is fine. If you have time, you can start, otherwise you can start from July. That is also fine. Can you tell about IMABC batch? IMABC batch is basically 7,500 questions. 3,500 questions will be provided initially, and the rest 4,000 questions will be started. We will start providing from mid-July. So that is about IMABC batch with like 8 to 10 questions, 1 to 2 sets each day. Abhishek sir has, yes, he is with us. For where I can get topic-wise LRDA mocks for practice, you can get topic-wise LRDA mocks with us only. We have like topic-wise tests as well. In quants, how to approach the question. So this we learn in that Quant. Especially, generally we approach a question by understanding the logic behind the question, trying to think about like similar kind of questions and try to replicate the entire thing in mind and then solve. This is I solve how. And similarly, you can solve it this way also, no problem. Questions in a does book is sufficient? Obviously, it's sufficient. If you don't take books, that is also okay. Book will give you some much additional thing. That's it. But please do solve like previous year PYQs also. Should we summarize each paragraph while reading? I do that. I summarize with a 1-2 lines in each paragraph. Even if it is a one big paragraph, I summarize first 5-6 lines, then next 5-6 lines, then next 5-6 lines. That's what I do. Yes, Abhishek sir is with us. He came back. So how to complete iQUANTA 12 set of books in 7 months? You will complete the books with this thing, like the numbers. When we do numbers, finish the book. When we do arithmetic, finish the book in this way only. In quants, how to approach the question, I've already answered that, how I approached. And similarly, you'll understand while seeing us to solving a question. You can continue job or you can leave. Like if you are smart enough, so you can also continue with job. But if you are not managing both, then you can also drop out from the job. Study material, you'll get the study material. The books, though, you need to like buy differently. Next is, sir, online choose offline class at Surat. Can we get crash course access? No, exactly. You need to pay differently for that crash course access. Next is, I have enrolled in batch 2. When to access dashboard? This will be provided. The access will be provided very soon, like within this week, I guess. I completed graduation in March. That's fine. That's like a small time frame. That's fine. That's okay. Can we prepare for GMAT and CAT? It's difficult. I won't say it's not possible, but it is difficult because GMAT and CAT are 2 different type of exams. Because I have taken myself GMAT and CAT both, so these are not same type of questions. And especially the focus edition is much more different than the original GMAT as well. You should start watching the conceptual videos. That's fine. You should start. You can start. Start with numbers, please. Is this paid course or free? Which one? This one, like today, this week's class are free. The next week's class will be paid, obviously. Sir, choose offline class at Surat. I think you cannot, but please talk to the support once. I don't think you can get the crash course, yeah, in here. But you might have a crash course in your own center as well. To start with, Quant should solving questions. Yeah, you can solve questions. You can like skip some questions also, like very difficult. You start solving with the easier questions, then try to build up your concept. Offline class, I have answered this thing. When will you get the study material? You'll get the study material when you buy, like after buying, after a few days, I guess. They will take like 10 to 15 days hardly to deliver your study material. After reading 2-3 articles, should I need to do RC? Yes, obviously. Article itself is not enough. Please do at least 2-3 RC. Article is for the first like few days, not for all the time. You can read all the time also, but RC is mandatory. You have to do. Next is where to find the topic-wise questions. You can get all these things in your dashboard. Experience matters. Yes, in IIM Bangalore, like the 92% students are with experience. In IIM Calcutta, 40% students without experience. So it depends on college to college, right? There's no hard and fast rule. Course will be completed by August, September. The entire course will be completed. Next is, I have answered almost most of the questions. So what is the fees of the course? Please talk to the support, talk to the people. I don't know, it's something around 28, 30, 31,000, I guess. This is between 28 to 31,000, something like that. So please talk to the support or talk to the sales. Won't affect anything. 1 year gap is fine, that's fine. GMAT course results, like we do not have this right now exactly with me. So like we will have some session where we definitely go with like how, my result I can say I have scored 730, 740 multiple times. Like yes, I have got like so many calls as well. So yes, this is my GMAT 730, 740. So I also like, this is I can say about myself. And few of our students also scored around 730, 740, 750 also, 760 also. So this is our Nagpur batch. Yes, it will be live very soon. Shoot with live class 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. If you are like missing live class, go like see the recorded videos. It will be available on your dashboard. Till July 31st, yes. CAT will only consider your work till July 31st. That's there. That is fine. Like with 6 months, you can find. But I will tell you do another 2-3 months, then leave. At least 8-9 months will be sufficient. I don't know exactly the difference. You just need to talk to the sales about the codes, like exactly with the course details. So I think I have answered most. Novels are not enough. It's just the beginning, for the beginning. I've answered most of the questions. The second thing, that next thing, we will see you guys in the other sessions as well. And if you have any more doubts, please go through our the paid groups as well. The free groups in iQUANTA. Like in Facebook, you can post your all doubts there. Someone will definitely answer your questions. And the next important thing is also, we have also arithmetic playlist also, which we are working on constantly. So it is also free in YouTube, so you can go to that thing also. You can see our arithmetic videos as well. So that is already available in your YouTube, so you can go through, check with all the arithmetic videos as well. We have some speed maths videos as well in YouTube, so please go through and please check all these things. So that will definitely help you. So this is all about it. I am signing off, so we have a next thing after that. So similar syllabus with ZAT almost, except decision making, NMAT, SNAP, all of these things I have like more or less similar thing. Recorded videos will be available in the event section of Facebook. So I have always told people you can start with numbers or you can end with numbers. So as we start with this batch, that was something which is like individual preparation. With this batch, we start always with the numbers. Vedant, which question? So which exams can we attend? I have already answered this question. Like it's with like ZAT, SNAP, IFT is not there, NMAT. CUT in some way. So these are all like similar kind of sections. In ZAT there is another section that is different, but otherwise it's fine. But not GMAT, obviously. Till July 31st. Work till July 31st will be considered. Bye guys. So this is all about it. So I am like signing off. I hope you like this session. We will have a lot more other sessions also in this coming week. So I hope to see you, all of you guys, in also like the other sessions, in the live classes also. And remember one thing, the last thing I'll always sign off, like, yeah, it's like, first of all, I obviously congratulate you. You have taken a step to attend these sessions because you want to do CAT, you want to have a better facility in CAT, you want to make a change. And that is the first step you already have taken. The second step is you need to have something, you need to trust someone, you need to trust your mentors, then you need to go with the preparation. That's where the consistency, the discipline comes. So you have done already the first step, you're interested, now you have to take actions. And the action is taking a course, maybe starting your preparation maybe, but whatever actions you are taking, you have to be consistent in it. And trust me, if you're consistent, you can score a very big percentile in CAT. At least 98 percentile is guaranteed if you are consistent. And the most problem is 90 to 95% people cannot be consistent. And that's why they are in the 95% of the population. So if you want to be in that 5-10%, you have to be consistent. There's no shortcut, nothing. So please be consistent, please be disciplined, and please work for your dreams, work for a better thing, work for a better result, a better life, everything. Like everything is online right now. So this is how I'm signing off. It's lovely having all of you guys onboarded. The live class timing will be 7 to 9 in general, always. And the application class is 10 to 12 p.m. obviously. So thank you guys, thank you very much. It's lovely having you onboarded. We will see you guys in the next upcoming sessions. 2nd May, there is an intro to QA session. Please attend the class also. This is a live like free session, but you should join the class. Thank you very much. Live class will be in the Facebook. Timing I have already told you. Thank you guys, thank you very much. And yes, I hope to see you in the live class. And important again, please be consistent, please take a decision, and please start working on it. So don't lose much more time. Just whatever decision you are taking, take it and start preparing and be consistent. I always tell this to people. Whatever decision, you have to take decision first and go with your decision. All the best. Thank you. See you guys very soon, I hope. And see you in the next sessions.